Hey guys, it's Sekaar, and today we're going to be going over my Magic Dragonite build for the Firesong chapter. I really like this build a lot. It's probably the most fun I've had so far this chapter. I know it's been tough to find new builds. It's kind of been a weird time for PvP in general, but honestly, I'm really liking this one a lot. So I hope that you guys enjoy. One last thing before we get to the actual build, if you're not subscribed to the channel, it really helps me out so much. It's free. It's just one click. I would really appreciate it. We just passed 3,000 subs, and we're on the way to 4,000 right now. So I would appreciate every single extra one. But guys, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Alright guys, we're standing in front of lava, so that's how you know it is a MagDK build video. Let's get started. First things first, we're going to be Breton on this build. I like Breton a lot for the sustain, the reduced magic cost, and just the magic recovery that you get from this. I really like it. I was thinking about going Khajiit on this, that way I could just go fully into crit, but I chose against it. I really like Breton for this. I feel like my damage is fine, and my sustain is probably the thing that, I kind of have to hold on to the most. So Breton right here is definitely best in slot right here, in my opinion. Our attributes are going to be 43 points into magic and then 21 points into health to give us a nice magic pool of 23.7, a max health pool of 30.3, and a max stam pool of 15.3. I'm pretty comfortable with all that. If you need to adjust that at all to give you more magic or more health, you feel free to do so. It is completely up to you. This is just what I run. Our Mundus on this is going to be the Shadow. This is going to increase our critical damage and critical healing by 14%. We're going to be on a crit build on this, so using Shadow is really going to get our damage up really high. I like it. I tried the Shadow and I tried the Warrior to increase my weapon damage, but honestly, Shadow felt so much better for my damage. I really liked it, so I definitely recommend going this way. We're going to be using Orzoga Smirked Bear Haunch for our food. This is going to increase our max health as much as possible and also increasing our stamina and magic recovery by 369. If you can't afford this, I know it's very expensive. I say this all the time. Use the Jewels of Miserable food. It is a lot cheaper, and you only lose a tiny bit of max health and a tiny bit of magic and stamina recovery. So if you can't afford this, which I completely understand, this food is absolutely ridiculous with how much it costs lately, just use that one instead. And as always, Vampire Stage 3. Vampire Stage 3, that the Undeath passive from that is essential in PvP, in my opinion. I know that the increased flame damage is a lot, but honestly, I would rather take that than not having the Undeath passive. Having that less damage you take at less health is absolutely it's so necessary, in my opinion. Our gear is going to be for our monster set. We're going to be using Bloodspawn. We're going to be using a heavy reinforced helmet and a light divine shoulder. Bloodspawn is going to give us stamina recovery for our one piece, and then for our two piece, it's going to give us, when you take damage, you have a 6% chance to generate 13 ultimate and increase our physical and spell resistance by 3,700 for 5 seconds. That is huge for our sustain because DK worked a lot with ulti-gen, and having Bloodspawn has always been the best monster set that you could possibly use for DK, and we're continuing that trend now. I love it so much, and then also that resistances really keeps you tanky. So again, heavy reinforced helmet and light divine shoulder. Our chest piece is going to be Order's Wrath in the heavy and reinforced trait. Order's Wrath is going to give us crit chance for our two piece. The three piece is weapon and spell damage. Another line of crit chance. Another line of crit chance, but it's more. And then the other 5 line is going to be increases your critical damage and critical healing by 8%. I know that another new set came out that gives you 13% Gourmands, but honestly, Order's Wrath is better in my opinion because you get an extra line of crit chance, so that kind of evens out the 5% that you're missing from Gourmands. Because Gourmands gives you 13, Order's Wrath gives you 15, or I'm sorry, 8. I don't know why I said 15. Order's Wrath gives you that 8%, but it also gives you another line of crit chance, which Gourmands doesn't give you. So I personally like this one a lot better, and you can customize the weight because it's craftable. Gourmands is a light set, so you can't mix and match. You have to be smart about it. Order's Wrath, you can make that whatever you want. So we're going to be using a heavy reinforced chest piece. Order's Wrath is going to be a heavy reinforced legs. And then medium Divine's Hands. Our other set is going to be Rallying Cry for our waist piece. Rallying Cry is going to be our back bar set. The 2-piece is going to give you crit chance. The 3-piece is max magic. The 4-piece is another set of crit chance. And the 5-piece is while Battle Spirit is active, what that means is when you're in PvP, so Cyrodiil, Battlegrounds, Imperial City, or a duel, is going to give you an extra 300 weapon and spell damage, or I'm sorry, not or, and an extra 1650 critical resistance whenever you critically heal yourself or an ally. And then the amount that you get is lessened for each person that you have in the group. So this is a very good solo, duo, or trio set. I love it. This is honestly my favorite backbar set in the game right now. Being able to use this and just like get your tankiness up, that way you can also build into divines for your set, is absolutely massive, and I love it so much. So again, Rallying Cry, Divines, Waste Piece. We're going to be using Light Rallying Cry, Divines, Feet as well. Our jewelry is going to be, our necklace is going to be a necklace of the trainee with a weapon damage enchant on it. In the Swift trait, we have one extra slot in this build, so we're always using trainee for that to get that maximum health up as high as possible. That one piece gives you 1,454 extra max health, so that's massive. Our mythic is going to be Markin, and Markin is whenever you have a set of 3 or more on, you're going to get an extra 100 weapon and spell damage and an extra 1,157 armor. So since we have the 3-piece of both Order's Wrath and Rallying Cry on, you're going to get an extra 200 weapon and spell damage and an extra 2,314 armor for your entire build. I know a lot of people run Sea Serpents lately, but honestly, I can't stand the snare on it. It drives me crazy. I like to be fast, so I would rather have the consistency of Markin rather than the extra tiny little bit of damage from Sea Serpents. I like this one so much better, but play however you want to play. If you want to mix and match the two, if you want to use Sea Serpent necklace and then trainee ring, go for it. I just prefer it like this personally. And then my other ring is going to be Rallying Cry ring in the infused trait with a reduced health, magic, and stamina glyph on it to help your sustain up as much as possible. Our weapons are going to be dual wield axes of Order's Wrath, one-handed. Our main hand is going to be Nirnhoned with a weapon and spell damage enchant on it. Our offhand is going to be a precise glyph or precise trait with a shock damage glyph on it. Sorry, there's a lot of talking on this, guys. And I'm doing this all in one take, too, so we got this. Also, backbar set. Rallying Cry. Ice Staff, defending with a magic restore cost. Alright, I'm kind of breaking down a little bit, but we're just going to keep on going. This is going to help your tankiness. Ice Staff, it really gives you more resistances. And then also the defending trait really helps your resistances a lot, trust me. It's better than using a Resto Staff, I promise. Onto our skills. Our front bar is going to be for your main damage is Molten Whip. You do not want to just spam this ability because you can stack this. So activate a different Ardent Flame ability. It gives you a stack of Seething Fury. So your other Ardent Flame abilities are in this tree. So you have Molten Whip as one of them, but that does not count as activating it. So if you use a different one like Noxious Breath or Flames of Oblivion, which we both have on our front bar, that will give you a stack whenever you use one. So when you get to 3 stacks, which is the max, you're going to be hitting a lot harder. So as you can see, lash an enemy with flame, dealing 7,304 flame damage. But if we get that 3 stack like this, say I do 1, 2, 3, we do that. Where are my skills? You see that all automatically goes up to 11,820, and that doesn't even count the we don't even have major brutality on this build, so that is absolutely massive. So what the, they're just a random guy that just, I'm trying to record a video here and these guys are just aggroing ads. Wow, that's kind of selfish. So that's crazy. So anyway, use that. That's going to be a really good source of damage, especially since we're on a crit build. That's going to hit really, really, really hard. I really like it a lot. Definitely try and use those 3 stacks. If you see those opportunities to use those 1 stacks though, and it's going to still do damage, definitely use that. You know, just use your own discretion. Shattering Rocks is going to be your CC on this build. I really like this. It's non-dodgeable. It can't be blocked. I love it so much. Being able to combo that and then using that right into a 3-stack Molten Whip, the damage on that is huge, and I definitely recommend. The only bad part about Shattering Rocks, and I don't know how many of you guys know this, if somebody uses Mist Form, you cannot use this ability on them. It's literally broken, and it's been broken in this game for well over a year at this point, and it's driving me crazy that ZeniMax has yet to fix it. It is driving me absolutely crazy. People that I can normally fight and kill so easily on this game, I literally can't do it because I can't CC them because Shattering Rocks does not work on people who have used Mist Form. So I don't know if you guys knew that or not. That's the only downside to this ability. Everything else is absolutely amazing. Flames of Oblivion, this is going to be a kind of one of your main spammables on this build. It does a lot of damage to your enemies, and then on top of that, you're going to get Major Prophecy and Savagery, increasing your spell and weapon crit just by having this slotted. So you're definitely going to love that. Having that with your crit build, you need it, you need it, you need it. Please do not skip out on this ability. Burning Talons, this is a great way to control the fight. Being able to hit the Burning Talons and they roll dodge out of it, then into the Shattering Rocks is a huge way to kind of drain your enemy's stamina, and then you could really just take control of the fight from there. It is amazing. And it's a really good source of damage, too. Noxious Breath, you're going to use the Stamina Morph of this because the Stamina Morph gives you major breach on your enemies, reducing your enemy's physical and spell resistance by 6k. That is absolutely, it's so necessary. You're going to be hitting so hard with this, and also it's one of your 2 stamina abilities on this build, so you can kind of spam it a little bit, but not too much. I definitely recommend it. It's definitely the morph to go with. And then Ferocious Sleep is going to be our front bar ultimate. I really like this on this build. I haven't really liked Ferocious Sleep in the past, but this build has been a lot of fun with it. Being able to crit with this is so massive. The damage on this is kind of insane. So if you can see that opportunity, if you have a 3-stack whip, you leap them, and then while they're still CC'd, hit them with this Molten Whip, you're going to take well over half of your enemy's health, and it is a great way to just secure that kill. Plus, I like RPing as a dragon and flying halfway across the map. And our back bar is going to be Igneous Weapons. This is going to give you Major Brutality and Major Sorcery for 1.2 minutes. So it's going to increase your weapon and spell damage by 20%. Guys, that's 1.2 minutes. If you can't keep that buff up while you're in PvP, I really don't know what to tell you. That is the easiest ability in this game. Just activate this and then go AFK, come back, and then activate it again. It's so easy. Race Against Time, this is going to give you Major Expedition and Minor Force, so that's going to increase your movement speed by 30% and your critical damage by 10%. So keeping that critical damage is key on this build. You want to do that at all times because, again, crit build. So definitely don't sleep on that Minor Force. And then on top of that, activating this ability removes all snares and immobilizations from you and grants immunity to them for 4 seconds. So it's a really good way to get out of those certain situations where you're snared hard and you're taking a lot of damage. This is a great way to be fast and get out of that situation. Resolving Vigor, this is going to be one of your 2 heals on this build, but guys, don't worry, 2 heals is enough. It's going to be your main heal over time. So, and it's also, on top of that, going to give you Minor Resolve, so it's going to increase your physical and spell resistance by 3k for 20 seconds. Your other heal is Coagulating Blood. You don't want to spam this the second you take damage. You want to be at lower health. So use your Resolving Vigor when you're about, like, you know, anywhere between 70 to 80% health. And then when you start taking more damage, then you use your Coag. I've hit upwards of 15k Coags this patch so far. So it's a really, really, really good heal on this game. I love it. And then Volatile Armor, this is going to be your source of Major Resolve. So this is going to increase your physical and spell resistance by 6k for 20 seconds. This is between your Major Resolve, that is 6k resistance, Minor Resolve, 3k, so that's 9k between the 2 of them. And then also your Blood Spawn, which is another like 3k or so. You're definitely getting tanky on this build. I like it a lot. And then also you get a nice little extra dot on your enemies too, and I'll take any extra damage that I can get Cyrodiil at this point. And then Corrosive. This is my favorite ultimate in the game. It has been ever since they changed it a little while ago. They made it so that you're ignoring your enemy's physical and spell resistance. So that's why you use it on MagDKs now, because, you know, it's amazing. So you're going to be limiting your incoming damage by 3%. So you're just going to be so unbelievably tanky. You won't get hit hard at all. And then On top of that, you're going to be ignoring your enemy's physical and spell resistance, and you're going to still be critting on top of that too. So no resistances for your enemies, and say you have a 3-stack whip with corrosive up, guys, it is so much damage. I have loved it so much. And then finally, our champion points. Our blue slottables are going to be Master at Arms, Ironclad, Fighting Finesse. Remember, crit build, you need Fighting Finesse, and Focus Mending. Our red slottables are Pain's Refuge, Survival Instincts, Sustained by Suffering, and Celerity. And then our green slottables are Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, Gifted Rider, and Seed's Blessing. If you can't afford all of these green ones, the way to prioritize is you use Rationer, because Orzogas is expensive, Liquid Efficiency, because potions are expensive, and then this Breakfall passive right here, definitely necessary. Please, please, please do not sleep on that in PvP. Those are the 3 priorities for the green tree if you can't afford all the lines right here. Alright guys, that is the entire build. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see builds like this live in action, I stream 5 days a week, so catch me live over at twitch.tv/Sekaar. I will have the link in the description below. I would appreciate you guys stopping by. It means the world to me whenever you guys are like, hey, I stopped in from YouTube. I'm like, oh, damn, that's really cool. Hell yeah. So I do appreciate that. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I would highly appreciate it if you did. It is a free way to support me. It does not cost anything to subscribe on YouTube. So please, it is like following. I would highly appreciate it. The more subscribers that I get, the more, the better it is for me. The more content I can make. So guys, I would highly appreciate it if you guys could do that if you're not already. If you're still here at the end of this video, I appreciate you guys for being here. I know I've talked a lot. I'm ready to call it. So guys, that's it for me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next video. Later.